Hey everyone, Untitled Chapter back in the video, and we have the April 20th patch notes, and really there's only a few things in here, so we'll dive into it, but we're going to start off with the new feature, the Discard Gear function. This is something I've been wanting for a long time. I am a little later to this update than I normally am. It came out quite late for me, but I want to check it out because there's some people complaining. So we're going to go check it out in game. And then we also have Endless Trial, adjusted certain artifact and enemy strength in Endless Trial. I've also seen some people complain about this, saying it's longer. And then added a tutorial for hard adventure stages. And glyph system, that's kind of nice for new players. A lot of people have questions about that. And then UI added effects and such. Cool. So really, the big thing is the gear function. We're going to see how this works and whether or not I like it or dislike it, because I know a lot of people have been complaining and are not super interested in the gear function, how they implemented it. The idea is great, but the execution is wrong. So let's jump into game and check out all these new features. So first things first is we are in a multi-battle after a Queen 14 run, and you can set up a discard feature. I'll showcase it in just a moment. But at the end of your run here, you can actually check out your pieces of gear. You can no longer lock your pieces of gear, it looks like, from this menu. I'm not sure how that will affect things. I like to lock my pieces of gear, so this may be something that I don't like. But you can also manually discard. So you're going to click this manual discard button and just check out your pieces of gear. But what's sad about it is, as you can see here, we're clicking on the pieces of gear and we can see the pieces. And then we go to the discard menu. You can no longer see them. So you don't actually know what you're discarding. So you have to remember each specific piece. That is really unfortunate. I think that they should absolutely add just like a little side menu, just like it normally is when you click on it, so you can know what you're discarding, because now you have to remember each piece or discard them one by one, which will take forever. But we're going to go ahead and discard these two pieces. It looks like that's just going to be discarded. I'm not sure what will happen when we actually go ahead and discard them. So let's go ahead and return to the menu here. It's converted into XP, Gear XP. I'm not sure what that means, but we're going to go check it out. And also, before we check that out, I wanted to show the just the enabling of discards. So you can go ahead and enable discard here and select which pieces of gear which will automatically be discarded. So let's just assume here that you don't care about health main stat or whatever. It's a little awkward because the how do I say this? You don't really want to kind of discard just random main stats, because you could still find the substats that you want. So generally you don't really care about this feature, and there is no main stat precision or agility pieces. Wait a second, why do they have they don't have agility or precision? I should notice that they don't have main stat agility or precision. So you usually don't want to remove specific sets generally, so those features are usually just not useful. The star level and the rarity level are quite nice. I will be discarding everything up to elite. The epic and legendaries I will keep. So that will just automatically be discarded, and then I'll have to go filter through the epic and legendaries when we go through a multi-battle. Now let's go see what happened to the Gear XP. If it goes into a menu or something, I'm not quite sure how this is going to work. So let's go ahead and just jump into someone's gear here. Let's just check out this piece right here. So, okay, it looks like there is a enhancement XP. So I love this. This is actually a really nice feature, although it looks a little bit laggy here. If you want to target a certain level, that's quite nice. But if you want to put a certain amount of XP in, that's a little unfortunate, because it is a little bit of a lag fest. But this is quite nice. I really like this, actually. The fact that they give you an enhancement target as well just immediately pop up to there. Very nice. I assume we're still going to get gear charms. I assume we're still going to get all this good stuff. But it's a little weird now that we have gear XP and gear charms. I don't know why they wouldn't just turn these gear charms into gear XP. I think just gear XP is probably just the way to go. You could just turn all this piece of gear into gear XP. Is there a way to turn these other pieces into gear XP here? I'm not quite sure. I don't think there is, really. I checked out the gear menu just before this as well. When you're selling pieces of gear in the gear menu, you're also not going to be able to turn them into gear XP, which I think should be a feature. So if I go into a gear here, if we just click sell here and then we go through, you can see they turn it into gold. I don't want gold, I want gear XP. So I'm not sure why they wouldn't just go ahead and, basically turn all this into gear XP instead of gold. This is what we want. That would be a really nice feature as well. Have us be able to select all this piece of gear and then just turn it into XP instead of just having to wait to enhance, because we still have that same problem. The only thing this changes is for dungeon runs, and honestly, it will take me longer to go through gear with this new feature because of the fact that I can't just lock and move on. I have to go and individually select which ones I want to discard and which ones I don't, which is a really, really unfortunate feature. Now, I do want to check if we can still lock pieces. It looks like we could still lock pieces, as you can see here, but we have to go in manually after the fact and lock pieces. Not a huge fan. Not a huge fan. Allow us to be able to lock pieces at the end of the dungeon. Allow us to check out the gear pieces when we're discarding. I like the feature. The execution is pretty poor, in my opinion. At least they're on the right track, I think. But there's a few things that I think overall that this feature really needs is, one, the selling of gear so that you don't have a bunch of gear clogging up your inventory, because it's still going to happen. And then let us be able to lock and let us be able to check out the stats. That's really what we need. But let's go ahead and check out Endless Trials, because I saw a few people complaining here about Endless Trials. I'm not sure what they changed, if they nerfed the artifacts or something. I have no idea if they made it easier or harder. Some people said that Endless Trials is now longer. So we're going to check out, we're just going to look at some of the artifacts here and see if they've changed anything. Most of these artifacts look very similar to previous. And then, yeah, all these artifacts are the exact same. I don't think I see any noticeable changes just from like the initial impressions. We can go ahead and launch a battle here and just check it out. I do not have all my characters geared right now, but we should be able to just run in something like a Zatlux here and just check it out, because that's all we should need to be able to complete this first stage. But unsure about what these changes to Endless Trial are. So they're going to go ahead and hit our Zatlux. Oh, well, we're going to lose our Zatlux, most likely. That's funny. All right. We didn't really test that out properly. Let's jump back in with a Windstrikes or something here. All right, we're back in and we have Windstrikes now. I just really want to test this just because I want to see if any of the artifacts have actually changed. Obviously, these first couple stages are very, very easy when you reach these levels of gear and stuff, so we just really want to check out and see if any of the artifacts have changed. I've not noticed a single one has been actually changed, because they said they adjusted some of the strength of the artifacts. But again, all of these are exactly the same, so I'm not sure what they've changed here. If you all know, let me know in the comments down below if they've changed a certain artifact or something to make it difficult, or if they've nerfed a unit. I don't know if they made it harder or easier. It doesn't say in the patch notes, but overall, unfortunately, I'm a little disappointed in the new update of the gear discard feature. I think it's going to make it more irritating for me to go through my gear at this point. A lot of people, it'll actually be a better system because they don't lock their pieces at the end of the battle, and they just go and they run a 10 run, and then now they can automatically discard all those 6-star blue pieces. But for me, I loved going through my gear at every round, locking the pieces, going into the gear menu, and just dumping all the pieces that aren't locked into an enhancement. And then that's the end of it, because I've already gone through and managed my gear. I cannot do that anymore. So now it's going to take me an additional 20-30 seconds per 10 run at the end of it, maybe even longer, to go through each of the individual pieces and discard them if I don't want them. So a little unfortunate, but I think this is an easy change. Just make it so that you could see the piece on the side, and then make it so you could sell pieces of gear in that gear menu that I showed you. So really, that's all we really need, and we'll have a great feature, our system in place. So hopefully we will get those improvements. Let me know what you think about the gear enhancement system, or the changes to it, in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time.